Oh, so Markus, is that your stage name?
My stage name is Markus Furtner, and my real name is Markus Furtner, which sounds almost like the same. But I came up with this Spanish character, which appeared to be much more interesting, much more funny, it's. Even though I'm not
You're not
Latino,
Spanish.
like neither Spanish or Argentinian, South American, not at all. But it was fun for me to pretend to be one, and it's also fun for the audience, and it turned out that it gave me a big leap in my career. That then instead of just doing double stick, where I was already very good at, and
I saw you yesterday. It was pretty amazing.
And I have many people say that I'm arguably the best. So that's what somehow some people really appreciate that. Here in Singapore, for example, I had a huge fan. Or two fans here who play double stick, and you rarely seen any other double sticker because there are only very few of them. And then now they saw me and they were so happy that I trained with them, and it was such a pleasure for me too, because they had so much fun and gratitude and it's for me as well. It gives me so much new inspiration too.
So if people ask you what's your job, what do you tell them is your job?
I'm an artist, performer.
So. And how did you get started? You said it was your brother had some juggling stuff.
Yes. So he started juggling as a hobby because a friend did it too. So he bought the juggling props in the juggling shop, and among those there was also the double stick, and I did not accept that I can't do that. I struggled a lot, like several weeks. I tried this TikTok, if you know what I mean, because nobody taught me any easier ways how to do it, so I had to come up almost with everything else except like the elementary descriptions in the books, which are also. Yeah.
Well, in those days, was there any YouTube videos?
There was not yet YouTube. What came up soon was a trick description. Without video, anything, but just describing the tricks, which was very helpful, which gave me a lot of inspiration back then. But so I started in 1996 with double sticks.
And you look so young.
Practicing.
You look so young. When were you born?
Well, I was born in 1981.
You're 10 years younger than me.
So I am younger. So
So you learn it, and was the double stick your favorite prop?
Absolutely. I tried as well, like Diablo or juggling, but I didn't like it so much. And
were you going to juggling clubs in Germany?
Yes, and it started off in 1997 when I visited juggling conventions and seeing other jugglers and double stickers. First of all, in the first conventions, I was more interested in seeing double stickers, learning new tricks, but also got very well integrated in the juggling scene and had a lot of fun there.
So you're integrated in the juggling scene in Germany, going to the conventions. Are you already starting to make some money performing as professionally?
I started professionally quite late. I did not do too much with really good gigs. So I just did some shows mostly on juggling conventions where it's more like for the community to improve myself. I had more an interest of the art itself than of being a professional. So I didn't want to rely on that. That's why I also did my studies in mathematics.
So you completed your degree in mathematics at university, but at the same time, for the love of juggling, you're going to conventions and you're performing. But now I know you told me you're a professional performer, so there must have been a turning point or something happened
there was always that. Okay, I think I need to show my double stick skills. I need to. It shouldn't be wasted. This skill, and I think it's good to be on stage, and so I kind of decided then after the university degree to really get into it and do it to be a professional artist, because there was like for me no other professional perspective yet that really satisfied me. You know, if you're in a big consulting company, and I don't know whether this is really me. And I heard a lot of similar stories of friends who also think it's very important that you find to yourself and find something that fits to you.
Yes, I realized that by chance. For me, like I just said before the podcast began, I was just, someone saw me in Singapore riding a unicycle and said, can you do a show? And I said, yeah. So it was just a chance and an opportunity. But you actually, you decided that you wanted to give it a go as a performer.
Yes, because as many of the trackers said, hey, you're amazing. What you do is really great. I have never seen anything like that before. So
very quickly, before I forget then, do you have a website and YouTube videos that people can look at?
Yes, you find my this is my website this is my website email address.
Okay, let's have a look. So I'll put this down in the episode description, but it's www.Markus with a K hyphen, I'm going to say Furtner, FURTNER.de, but I'll put that down in the episode description.
Yes.
And there's videos and things people can see there?
Yes, but I have also a YouTube channel with the same name, Markus Furtner. Okay. So you'll find me on YouTube with Markus Furtner.
Because you're really good. I was a bit distracted yesterday playing unicycle hockey and looking after my daughter, but I saw this guy spinning away 2 devil sticks, one in each hand. I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
And you are really, really good at it.
Well, yeah, that's what do you get when you stick to one thing, and when you put your entire dedication on that. On one crop.
When I was in Singapore, there was nobody else doing hardly any juggling at all. So I became a sort of a jack of all trades. It means I learned a little bit of juggling, a little bit of unicycling, a little bit of devil stick, a little bit of cigar boxes, and I put together a sort of a variety show. But
for me, it's now a bit on the opposite, because I was, first of all, a long time I was devil stick only. Then after I already did an entire act with 2 devil sticks.
How long? 5 minutes?
It's like this. Like it was a 4-minute act.
A real good 4 minutes.
2 devils. That was my ambition, just to say to show off more for jugglers that in 2002, and then I slowly started like before, like also learning a bit more juggling with boys clubs, and I started, I think it's 2004, I thought 2005, I thought, well, I should get a bit more into juggling also, because we had some gigs where we also want to do some passing or including some basic juggling, and of course also to give me, I found that it helped me a lot to get new stimulation for a new inspiration for my juggling. That sometimes when I felt like I don't get these 4 clubs really solid, then I go back to my double sticks, and it feels suddenly so good, because then you're back home and you're safe in your safe environment, or in your elements.
And then sometimes when you go back to the 4 clubs, you feel refreshed.
Of course, yeah.
Now I'm going to check that this is recording properly. I want to check that. It's all good. So far, so good. There we go. So you've decided to give it a try after university to really focus on it. So what kind of work did you get at first in Germany, was it?
I tried mainly to work in Germany, but it turned out like I I got a contract in the US in a casino, which was pretty easy going with only 4 shows a week and 4 like shows.
Okay.
It was very little effort. It was good.
You saw someone was asking for jobs in a US casino. You applied.
Yes. Did you
have to audition in public or video?
No, it was actually just a video on YouTube. But this was actually just by YouTube.
Yeah.
Somebody found some videos.
And which part of America was it?
It was in Connecticut.
Okay, so you're working in a casino, just 4 shows a week.
Yeah, that was pretty cool for me.
And you're what, 23?
I was at
24, 25.
2009. It was already back in 2009 already. So I've been doing Devastating long before.
You've been doing a long time.
I even had another contract, like in a variety show for 2 months in Athens, which was cool. It was cool for me, but maybe not so good. Like you know what's happening with.
They haven't got much money.
No, like that's so, and I took money away of that by getting the.
Oh, so you destroyed the economy. It was you. It was you taking all the money back to Germany. It was you.
So I hope we keep that among us here. So now don't spread it out too much.
So you had a few months in Athens. You had a few. Was it a few months in Connecticut?
Yeah, it was 3 months.
3 months.
And then some other gigs, like in some variety shows in Germany. Like I did not the really big things, but I did some in some theaters, playing here a month, there a month, or some similar shows in different events.
Which is so let's have a think about talk about some of these things. So in the casino, did you have a nice stage? Was it a nice theatre area?
It was more like almost more like a street show with it was. And I did not do my own show. Actually, he gave me music and I just played costume and it was fun because I was with some. Women like backup dancers were accompanying me. It was fun. Yeah, like I really liked that.
So they played the music, they gave you the costume, they gave you the dancers, and you came on and did your devil stick.
Yeah, so it was actually in that sense it was not that demanding for me or like artistically valuable for me. Yeah. It was like it was fun. It was good. Like I was also had some freedom of what I did in the show. But sometimes I want that they take they could have cared a bit more even what I do or like
about the quality
or the quality of the show even with the music and everything together also and it was more like on the not on a stage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a big difference between turning up and there's a stage and lights and MC and seats, and what you can do in a theatre can be astounding. And there's a whole different set of challenges if you're just on a floor in a shopping mall or with passers-by. It's a different kind of show.
Yeah. Absolutely, and for me it was still easy because that's what I did was what I did was okay, and I had my with music and an announcement, and if people go, I did not have to ask for money like you know, like a street performer. You really have to gather the crowd and then getting a good.
Have you ever done any street performing?
Only in groups and festivals so far. Like I have done some. Not really the classic street performing as where you really need to gather a crowd because I'm not so much into talking.
That's my next question. Do you talk at all in your shows?
I'm usually not a big talker in shows.
Okay.
Like I'm more like
I'm guessing also you're not the kind of performer who uses volunteers.
Sometimes I do, especially when I play this Spanish character. I try to recruit an assistant, and she can as well be a volunteer. So
you can.
Sometimes I do it like beforehand, like really like as a really assistant.
Yes.
Or sometimes it can also happen that I do it on already on stage and instruct her what to do.
Yes.
But,
So, and this is still doing a devil sticks routine.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you get the assistant to do?
Yeah. Well, just get me my hat and give me the devil sticks. So, and I think it's fine to have like the relationship and.
Do you kind of flirt as you're the Spanish?
Yes,
you're the Spanish superstar.
Yeah.
You flirt with the volunteer from the crowd.
That's.
And you get to give you the hat and. Oh yeah. Okay. So you've done shows for casinos. You did shows in Athens. What kind of? Are there any other kind of shows? Have you ever had to do shows in shopping centres?
No, more like any things like weddings. Or events of company events.
Yes,
big like sports galas.
Right.
That was something I did too.
And would you be off stage doing 1 hour or 2 hours or something like that, or do you normally do
more like it was mostly my my act?
You'll be on stage for 5 minutes. Okay, that's what you do.
5 or 8.
5 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, so that mainly, and maybe something around that with, but usually that's more something when you do like an extra act with a double stick or fire double sticks.
So you do stuff. You can do stuff at night time when the lights are dim.
Yes, that's
okay. So what is your act at the moment? How does it start?
This is my act. I haven't been playing it for a while because like the last 14 months I've been working with Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we actually got into that podcast. It was
that's what made me think I better interview you. So you're working in Germany from about, did you say about 2006, 7, 8? You're doing shows.
Yeah, I started in like early 2000s. I started slowly. It's gradual, of course.
And you get some. You had quite early on. You went to Connecticut. You did a couple of months in Athens,
and then Germany shows in Germany.
And you were doing corporate shows, sporting events, and then is the next thing Cirque du Soleil?
Then at some point, Cirque du Soleil asked me that they need a good devil sticker, and so. So I got the contract and just started last year in May to go to Montreal and getting trained as this character. I will show you some photos so you can see.
What's the show called?
The show is called Totem.
Totem. Okay.
Totem, which is a journey through evolution and human culture.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting. So like here you see one thing like how I look like, which is with this.
Now people won't be able to, I might try and post a photo of this.
Yeah.
But I
can give you a photo. Just a photo like. Yeah,
it's typical Cirque du Soleil. He's got a beautiful golden makeup.
Beautiful
face.
Excellent makeup that takes you in the beginning more than an hour. Here we see there's like Johnny Depp.
Oh, there you have Johnny Depp. My goodness.
When we were in, so we toured mainly. I toured from. I joined the tour in Vancouver, and then the tour transferred to Auckland. In New Zealand, and then to Australia, where they are started in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and I just come from Adelaide. So I finished the contract in Adelaide, and now I'm heading home to Germany and having a nice stopover here in Singapore.
Playing unicycle hockey.
Yeah, where the show is also coming to after the last city in Australia, Perth.
It will come to Singapore.
It will come to Perth, and then from Perth to Singapore.
But you will be in it. No,
I won't be anymore. Right. I'm finished. With
so were you doing a solo act? Were you a solo act in?
It's partially yes, but what I had my as you might already see, this character is called the Tracker, and he's kind of a the ringmaster in the show.
Oh.
So what I'm also doing is presenting acts non-verbally,
yes.
but as
a kind of ringmaster.
Yeah. So so I have several appearances where I do some exploring when I'm or I pretend to do being the curious explorer, as well as presenting, doing some head manipulation too, and being an assistant, a guide, also guide of the scientist, which is also close to Darwin, like the guide of Darwin.
Okay. Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin.
So and that's
how do you like that? Because I talked to you right now, and I saw you as doing a solo double stick act. But now I find you're performing and you're acting.
Yes. So that's absolutely right.
Is that something new for you?
It was absolutely something new for you, and it was also quite hard and it's quite challenging for me too to get into acting. But it's I would take these chances, of course, and accept the challenges and I think I really like that how I was able to improve things, and they in Cirque du Soleil you get excellent support in that sense. If you want to, you can, and you want to learn and you work hard, they can provide you good support too. At least they did to me. Well, of course they can, but they do whatever. Right? But and so I had good benefits of having good classes too, good teachers, and that was that helped me a lot.
Is there anybody else in your family who's interested in performing?
Well, as was said, my brother, he kept juggling.
Oh, he did.
Indeed. So he also worked in circuses, where like like half a year in a circus in Denmark, which like circus, pretty classical circus, where they switch place almost every night, and
they go somewhere else. They put up the tent. They do a show.
And they
and your parents, are your parents in any way performers?
Not at all. No, my dad is electrician, and my mother was mainly housewife. So,
wow.
So there's but as I said, like the main thing was my brother picked it up. So and started juggling.
Okay.
Wanted to do that job.
I'm amazed. Cirque du Soleil. When I was, I remember in 1990, I saw some videos. They showed a Cirque du Soleil program on British television, and I was like, wow. And then, and at that time, there was also a circus called Archaeos. I don't know if you've heard of that. And they both came to England, so I went to see them, and it was amazing. I never thought I could do anything like that. And then when I was in Singapore in about 96, 97, Cirque du Soleil set up an office in Singapore. So I of course went along and knocked on their door, but they weren't hiring local artists. But I did work for their outreach program. They have Cirque du Monde, where they have local jugglers will go out, and we were paid by Cirque du Soleil to teach juggling workshops. And then later on, one of my friends in Singapore, Ali Khan, he works with Cirque du Soleil as I think he helps recruit just sort of the entourage, the clowns, the extras, not the main acts. And he said, "Do you want to have a job? I can get you a job." But I said, "But now I'm married. I can't really travel around that anymore." So it came too late for me. But it's amazing to meet someone who's really done it.
Wow. So I'm very happy that I actually did it, even though it's as you point out, for your private life, it can be quite challenging. Like with my
how is your private? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes. So she's she's also a unicyclist, which brought me. She brought me to unicycle hockey. To be, even though my brother is a unicycle teacher, but
your girlfriend.
But the really turning point that I really also got into unicycle was then when I got when I started dating her. So,
okay, but is she always in the same country as you?
Yes, she's in Germany. She's in Germany.
But you were in Australia.
No, I was in Australia now. Like, so this was the one, like with the traveling of Cirque du Soleil. This was quite compromising.
Exactly. Yeah.
So doing that or doing it not, but I decided to do that, and I think it was the right decision. So that is because you can't just
All right, I like to finish off with some sort of just some random quick questions, and just to see what happens. What is? Can you think of any really bad shows? I love to hear when things went wrong. Not necessarily your fault. Have there been or tough shows, or interesting shows, or if you want, you can tell me about really good shows. I did a show once for the Sultan of Brunei, which was quite an experience. He flew me from Singapore to Brunei to do a show for one of the princes for a birthday party. And actually the event itself was fairly straightforward. I just sat in his gold-plated garage until it was time for me to go to one of his living rooms, and I did the show, and then I was flying back to Singapore. So it wasn't that exciting, but that's something I tell people, and they go, "Wow!" Is there anything, any good stories or bad stories? I've fallen into a swimming pool once before the show began. I had to do my show soaking wet. Maybe you haven't done it long enough. I've done it. I'm 10 years older, so I find after 25 years, there's a few things have gone wrong.
There have been a few things, but nothing that really made me feel so bad. Like I'm very happy. I'm very happy that I got, especially in the beginning, started with good, and then when I do something bad, I know that I risk something, but when I fail, it's just see that I.
But I guess my kind of shows are probably not as polished as yours, so there are more errors, and I'm allowed to make errors because I'm more of a clown. So if I drop something, maybe I'll just carry on dropping things and pretend to make a whole routine out of dropping things. But if you're doing a devil stick routine and you're supposed to be the great devil stick expert, you're not allowed to drop.
That's one thing, but that's what helped me too with this character. It's also a funny character.
He's holding up his. Your Spanish character, yes.
Yeah. So this is a more like I'm also a funny character, and if something goes wrong, it's absolute. Can even become more funny.
Okay. Yes.
This character helped me a lot to get over this pressure and say, hey, just have fun, and if something proper happens, but of course you should stay focused, but you shouldn't fear of that you get dropped or you get embarrassed.
Did this character happen after Cirque du Soleil?
No, because I just finished Cirque du Soleil, so it happened. It happened after the casino, basically. In 2009.
So you've been having this character for a while.
I started that, So
Markus, how do you pronounce it?
Markus Furtner.
Markus Furtner.
It's like Spanish.
Spanish, yes. Okay. Let's see. So good shows, bad shows. Do you ever do private events, like small events, like birthday parties? You've never had to do that? You do everything. But what I also like is private event, like when you do it really for friends or for when you do like when I had my goodbye party before Cirque du Soleil, I had great colleagues here who did amazing shows too, and I also we did more. It was for us. We did an open stage, and of course I also showed this character. This time in a lederhosen. Lederhosen, the German style.
German style, yes. So it was very funny then, and things like that I really enjoy. If you have much more personal connection with those people who see your act and learn to appreciate every single thing you do.
Markus, fantastic talking to you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
This is Big Ben, and this is Meet the Entertainers on the Big Ben Show. To keep my costs down, there's only about 3 episodes on iTunes or Podomatic at any one time, but you can just go to my website, thebigbenshow.com, and if you scroll down, I've got podcasts and interviews with all magicians, entertainers, clowns, belly dancers, jugglers, unicyclists, and now we have the first devil stick professional. Markus, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
There we go.